Hello and welcome to Kunstadt Sports. My name is Kunstadt, and today we will introduce you to our methods of selecting snowboards and snowboard bindings. Our expert today is Davey, and he knows everything about snowboards, about snowboard bindings, but he also knows many other things that we are not going to be discussing today. So enjoy the show, and here is Mike.
So there are three main things to concern yourself with when picking a snowboard. It's the riding you're going to do, where you're going to be riding, and your ability level. The parts of the snowboard that will complement that are the profile of the snowboard, the height and the width of the snowboard, as well as the overall stiffness or flex of the snowboard. An advanced rider would like a much stiffer board to get more response. A beginner snowboarder, an intermediate level snowboarder needs a little more softness for the control at the slow speeds. So the two main shapes of snowboards are directional or twin, and the two main profiles are Rockered or Camber. The cambered snowboard, being the more traditional profile, raised in the middle and flat towards the extremities, offers better performance and more pop and better stability edge to edge. A Rockered snowboard is raised on the tips and flat in between your feet. It's better and softer and unpredictable snow, but offers you less control at the higher speed. A directional snowboard offers a stance set back on the snowboard up to 3/4 inch, allowing you to have a longer nose and shorter tail. That gives you more stability coming out of a carve, as well as ease of entry into a turn. A twin snowboard offers you the same feeling while riding switch or regular, without sacrificing any of the control from sitting further back in the park. Here we have two Rockered snowboards. We have a Rockered twin and Rockered directional. The Rockered directional snowboard is great for people who ride the whole mountain and do a little bit of freestyle. Somebody who might be getting into the sport, they handle better at a slower speed. A Rockered twin is for somebody who's mostly freestyle, wants to ride switch and regular, and stays most of their day in the park. Here we have the two main styles of cambered snowboards. We have a directional cambered board as well as a cambered twin. The directional cambered board is better for your free riders, your all mountain riders of intermediate or advanced level. The twin cambered snowboard is more of a freestyle board for doing laps of the park. The cambered boards tend to handle a little bit better at your higher speeds at the sacrifice of handling at your lower speeds. They have a fuller effective edge and gets you more grip. So when considering which binding to pair with your snowboard, you definitely want to get a binding that will complement the snowboard as well as your rider ability and style of riding. As far as stance is considered, the stance is easily adjustable and mainly preference. You can adjust it at home. It's super easy whether you want to change the angle, the position front to back, or left to right. The first of the three types of bindings we're going to talk about is the speed-in style of binding, a binding that offers great ease of entry from the back rather than having to sit in the snow, kick your heels in and clip in for each run. The rider using this is your more intermediate level rider who's just out there for fun, is not pushing it very hard, and they're just looking to get in and out nice and easy. And the next binding we're going to talk about is the full composite binding or full polycarbonate binding. The binding overall is a lot softer and a lot more forgiving. You'll be less likely to catch your edge. This binding is definitely geared towards the beginner riders, somebody who don't have a lot of experience and they're not really looking to have a high performance binding. The last binding we're going to talk about today is geared more towards the intermediate or advanced rider. It has a base plate and aluminum heel cup that just stiffens up the chassis of the binding, offering you a lot more response when carving edge to edge or when launching off a large jump. You definitely want the control. It's got a canted footbed to relieve the pressure on your knees from standing with your feet spread apart. As well as a forward lean adjustment to change the angle of attack on the binding, making sure that you have all the performance you need.
So here you have it. I hope you enjoyed the show and learned how to select snowboards and snowboard bindings. Please be aware that we have another video, accompanying video about selecting snowboard boots. This video also features our expert Davey, and I hope you'll enjoy it as much as you enjoyed the video on snowboards and bindings.